நான் சொல்கிறேன். सुरेश जी या पुढे या इथे இந்த கேமராக்கு பக்கத்தில் அங்கே ஆனந்த் ஆனந்த் Anand, his wife.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sadashiva Samarampham Sankacharya Madhyamam Aspadacharya Paryandam Vande Anadi Avichinnasi Sarada Pita Guru Paramparam. Ganesham Vignanasaya Vanim Vagatta Buddhaye Gurum Gudata Banatam Pranamami Sadamuda. Dear devotees, this Atma, the strength of mind, gives you courage to act bravely. To get the strength of mind, one has to be thorough in what they are doing. The studies, they should be thorough. The knowledge is very important to give the inner strength. A small boy of 8 years old in Tiruchirappalli was exposed to Abhang by a Pandit from Maharashtra who happened to live near his house for a few days. And that seed grew into a big banyan tree and giving shelter to thousands and thousands of Akavis in the bliss of Vittala, far away from the maddening crowd. That is the effect of our, my friend, I say, Mr. Ganeshkumar ji. If you go to his house, you will see all the people will be with a computer and discussing only about Vittala, how to improve the quality of presentation, except for a cup of coffee from the mommy to me. That is the devotion he gives, and that is why today he gets all accolades and titles and recognitions, and they become famous because they are given to him. The latest addition being his recognition by the Mysore Palace Committee, who gave him recognition as late as May 2023. He was taken around the palace and they asked his opinion, and he gave some of the drawbacks there, and which they say they rectify it. That is our Ganeshkumar ji, and I'm very happy that the third year also continuously is giving us a program here, in spite of his getting requests from various organizations in India. So we are blessed to have him today also. And also for next year also, I'm requesting Ganesh ji to give the performance here, not anywhere else. Thank you very much.
I'm told we have to light the lamp. So, can I call some? सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की पांडुरंग वरदुनि की अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां हे जना पर्युपासते तेषां नित्यभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे अवहनं न जानामि विसर्जनं आवाहनं न जानामि विसर्जनं तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष जनार्दन हे जनार्दन रक्ष रक्ष जनार्दन मन्दस्मितमुखं भोजं महनीय गुणार्णवम् मधुराभाषिणं शान्तं सर्वभूतदयापरं भक्तवात्सल्यजलधिं परमानन्दविग्रहं ज्ञानानन्दं प्रपन्नोऽस्मि समचरण सरोजं सान्त्वनीलम्बुदापं जगन्निहितपाणिं मण्डनं मण्डनन करुणतुलसीमालाकन्दरं कञ्जनेत्रं सदयधवलहासं विठलं विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि विठ्ठलं 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 चिन्तयामि
जय
हवरे साहब, आप यहाँ आना चाहेंगे? आइए आइए, आप सब वारकरी संप्रदाय के हैं, मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता है। हमारे साथ बहुत बड़े एक महान कलाकार हैं, मिलिंद गोसावी जी। I have said in my ad that the exposition is going to be in English, so I have to maintain that. You all must have heard of Sant Eknath, one of the foremost saints of Maharashtra, who not only influenced the approach to Marathi Abhangs, but he did so many things which was one of its kind at that time. He not only wrote Marathi Abhangs, he did so many things in addition. He wrote ordinary songs meant for the masses. He wrote Bharud. He wrote Bhavgit. He even wrote on Allah just to ensure that our community can be kept together. And Sant Eknath was the great grandson of Sant Bhanudas, about whom I am going to speak a little later. And Sant Eknath's parampara still continues. And I'm extremely glad there are two people here today who are very strongly connected to the Sant Eknath parampara. The first one being Justice Radha Krishna, who gave the justice, who gave the final judgment on the Nath parampara. And there is one who belongs to the family, and that is Shri Milind Gosavi. Milind Gosaviji is the 13th in the parampara, and Milindji himself is a very accomplished singer. I invited him today especially because I'm going to speak on a little unknown facts about the Maharashtrian tradition and about the Maharashtrian Varkari Sampradaya. And when you speak about this unique features of the tradition, you need somebody from the family so that they can authenticate it. So it is not just a story, it's a statement of material facts. And that is one reason why I thought Milind Gosaviji should be here. And I'm happy that there are two judges. One is Justice Radhakrishna and Justice Suresh Gupte, who just retired as a judge. Both of them were in the Bombay High Court. And in the presence of judges, when you say something, it becomes an absolute fact. And we also have, incidentally, Sri Ratna Sharada, who is one of the very popular names in the Hindu community. He represents the RSS, and you see him on the TV almost every third day. And that is Ratna Sharada ji. And I invited Suresh Havreji here because he is the one who took me to Samartha Ramadas in Sajjangad. And Havreji is a big name in New Bombay, but he also belongs to the Varkari Sampradaya. So let us all forget what we are, what is our status in life, what positions we hold. Let us forget all that for the next few, maybe at least 2 hours. And let us all participate in this unique journey, because this is a journey which does not happen anywhere else in the world. The only journey that happens is in Maharashtra. And in Maharashtra, the people walking a few 100 kilometers just to have his darshan for a fleeting second. And today he has come to give you darshan. How lucky you all are. So after the event is over, I would welcome each one of you. Please go there, touch his feet. And if you want to take a photograph, please take it. And we also have Dr. Vidyadhar Vyas, who is one of the foremost in the Hindustani classical music. Vidyadhar ji, Jirad. And you all must clap a little louder. I'll tell you why. He belongs to the family of Pandit Narayan Rao Vyas, and who taught Hindustani music to our great Bharat Ratna M.S. Subbulakshmi. So to have him and his wife Sunira Kasliwalji, who is also a leading name in the Hindustani music. So I'm extremely glad that all of them have come, possibly because they love me or they like me. And we also have Snehal Mazumdar. I can't see you. Snehal Bhai. Oh yeah. Snehal Bhai is the president of the Indian Musicological Society and also a big Santur player. And of course, we have Mr. Hari, who is my friend, Raghunath, who is my friend. So we go on with this journey. So next 2 hours, you're going to forget everything else. Will you? The yes is a little casual. That's it. Dr. Narmada, the illustrious daughter of Shri M.S. Gopalakrishnan Ji. And the greatness of Narmada's playing is, I want to tell her this privately, but I'll tell it publicly. She's equally adept in Carnatic music as much as Hindustani music. And that is something very rare. The rag that she played, which is called Patadeep, Vidyadharji, is not there in Carnatic music, but it's something very unique to Hindustani music. And yeah. Oh. Oh. Oluskar. Yeah. Wow.
Violin.
Wow. Wow. प्रखदनरद परशर पुंडरीक प्रखदनरद परशर पुंडरीक यसंभरीश शुक शौनक भीष्मताल्ब्यं रुक्मांगदार्जुन वसिष्ठ विभीषणाद रुक्मांगदार्जुन वसिष्ठ विभीषणाद पुण्यानिमान पुण्यानिमान परम भागवतान् स्मरामि प्रह्लाद नारद परशर पुण्डलीक व्यासंवरीय शुक शौनक भीष्मताल्ब्यं रुक्मांगदार्जुन वसिष्ठ विभीषणाद पुण्यानिमान परम भागवतान् स्मरामि पुण्यानिमां परम भागवतान् स्मरामि आधि कळस मग पायर आधि कळस मग पायर आधि कळस मग पायर चिंचेचा पानावर देऊळ रचिले चिंचेचा पानावर. The smallest in the plant kingdom is the tamarind leaf. Chinchecha panavar. On such a small thing, Devuda Rachile, somebody built a huge temple. And not only that, Adi Kalasa, Magapaya, they first, the Kumbham happened, and then the foundation stone. How can this happen? We will see. चिंचेचा पानावर देऊळ रचिले, चिंचेचा पानावर देऊळ रचिले. आंधळ्याने देखिले, आंधळ्याने देखिले, बहिर्याने ऐकिले. आंधळ्याने देखिले, बहिर्याने ऐकिले, पांगळ्याने पाठलाग केला रे, पांगळ्याने पाठलाग केला रे. आधी कळस मग पाया रे, चिंचेचा पानावर एका जनार्दनी Now a question. I am tempted to ask these questions because I want to test what is the level of understanding of our dharma amongst all of us. The song says, Adhi Khalasa Magapayare. And this is composed by Sant Eknath. It says, Eka Janardani Ekapane Vinavi Akhanda Rama Nama Smarare. Can someone tell me one of the oldest Shiva temples in this country where this really happened? Adi Kalasa Magapayare. Anyone who responds to this question correctly will get a 3D Vittal portrait later. Not today, I have not brought it, but I'll send it to them. Can someone from the crowd volunteer? And this is a very crucial information which our children need to know. So if there is anybody in the audience who can tell me, where was this? Absolutely on dot. The Ellora caves, Pandit Vidyadhar Vyasji will not get a Vitthal photograph. Who am I to give it to him? But the information, in the 6th century, a queen around that place found that her husband is sick and some kind of an incurable disease. So she committed that I will build a Shiva temple if my husband gets cured. And the husband gets cured. And then she invites hundreds of architects, and none of them could find a solution to this, because to build a temple it will at least take about 2-3 years. But one architect turned and said, I will do it in 20 days. What do you want to see? She said that I want to see the shikhar of the temple. That's a proof that the temple would exist. And that architect chiseled on a single rock near the Ellora caves and first did the shikhar. And then the stone was further chiseled, and finally there was a Shiva temple with a beautiful Shivalinga right in the center. And this happened in a place called Ellora, which is very close to the place called Sambhaji Nagar. Sambhaji Nagar is the place which is filled with such unknown facts, which are all hidden from us for whatever reason. And we need to unearth each one of them, because each one of them is significant. Because all these great signs of our dharma was destroyed deliberately. And it is my wish, it is my dream that every child knows about the greatness of our dharma and how did it evolve so beautifully. And from the 6th century, when the architecture had not developed, this architect had that intelligence to chisel out from a single stone a huge temple. And this was the place which is very near where Sant Eknath lived. And that must be the reason which prompted Sant Eknath to write this composition. Chincheta Panavara, Devulu Rachile, Adi Kalasa Magapayare. And then he identifies some such impossible things. Then he says, Deva Puzuzata Devula Udale, Pariyesi Sadguru Rayare. Now when you want to pray, all of us want to pray. But when do you get this drive in your mind that I want to pray? Normally this would happen when you have lived your life, you have nothing else to do, you are retired, and then suddenly you get this urge that I want to immerse myself into bhakti. But by that time it is too late. And when you want to do that, this sheer fact that you want to be devoted to God is adequate. So even if there is a tamarind leaf, which is the smallest, like your mana, you can't say where is this mana in your body. You know where the heart is, but you don't know where the mana is. It is as small as this Chinchechada Panavara. So in that manner, when you get that concept that I want to see the God, and you start traveling, you want to visit all the temples, you want to attend Ganeshkumar's function at Sringeri temple, thinking that it will give you that bliss. Yes, it will, but that's a very temporary bliss. If you want a permanent bliss, when you start traveling, you slowly realize God is there everywhere. And God is nowhere. This seems to be an impossible statement, but that's a fact. Alodya Sharvashastrani Vicharya Chapuna Punaha Idamekam Sunishpannam Dhyayo Narayana Sada. You analyze all the Vedas, all the Puranas, all the Itihasas, that great enlightened people could never define where God is. It is a feeling, it is a faith, but it cannot be scientifically proved for the modern world. So a small place called Yamana, when you have the drive, you start traveling, and when you start traveling, you realize that God is not in the temple. Deva Pujujata Devula Udale. So what do? You go to the enlightened people like our Sannidhanams. Pariyesi Satguru Rayare. He is the one who will actually tell you how you should be devoted to godliness. It is not in a single place. It is not in a geographical location. You can't have a GPS for God. You can find God anywhere, even in a stone. That was the greatness of our dharma. And then it says, Dutondi Harini Panyavara Ali. A deer with two mukha came to the river to quench its thirst. Dutondi Harini Panyavara Ali. Ti mukha veena pani pyali re. Without using the mouth, the deer was satiated, it quenched its thirst and got satisfied. So when we go to pray, we are in two minds. Is it true or is it not true? What is real? What is Maya? You're always confronted with this confusion in your life. You're always confused. Where is he? And when you go with it, suddenly at some point of time, somebody blesses you and you suddenly find Ti mukha vena pani pyali re. You have, your questions are answered without actually being answered. In Tamil, there is a beautiful shloka. Kallanil Pudayamarndu Nanmarai Arangam Udar Katru Gedvi Vallargal Nadvarukum Vaku Iranda Puranama Yellama Yalladumai Baraiki Mapalai Irandadane Irandabadi Irindagati Solamal Sonnavare Ninayamal Ninaindi Bavartodar Kai Velvom. This is a Tamil composition for Dakshinamurti. It says Kallanil Pudayamarndu. He sat below an alamaram, a banyan tree. Kallanil Pudayamarndu. Nan Marai, the four Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda, Nan Marai, Arangam, the 6 chapters. Kallanil Pudayamarndu, Nan Marai, Arangam, Mudar Katru, Kelvi Vallargal Nalvarukkum. Who can question? A person who has an ability to question can question, not the way that people are questioning today. This is not, they are not eligible to question. A person who is well entrenched can seek clarification, and that is questioning. Kelvi Vallargal Nalvarukum, the Sanakati Munivargal 4, or you can say Adi Shankara's devotees 4, Padmapada, Hastamalaka, Totaka, Sureshwara. So the Sanakadi Munivargal 4, Kallanil Podayamarndu Nanmarai Arangam Udar Katru Kelvi Vallargal Nalvarukum, Vaku Iranda Puranamai. He did not speak a word. Mauna Vyakhyanena Prakatita Paratatvam. He could explain to you the Parabrahma without even uttering a single word. Vaku Iranda Puranamai, not halfway through, until the ultimate end. Puranamai, Maraikyum Appalai, the concept which is beyond the Vedas. Maraikyum Appalai, Irundadanai, Irundabadi, Irundikati, Sollamal, Sonnavarai, Ninayamal, Ninaitu, Bavar Todarke, Velvom. So this is the greatness of a guru who leads you by hand. He shows you the right path. It could be different gurus for different people. In fact, the very first composition of the great Saint Sant Namadev was Baba Ahankara Nishigana Data, Guru Vachani Futali Pahata, Bhakti Mata Bhetali Baravanta, Tine Margadavila, Chokataga, Narahari Rama Govinda Vasudeva. So the great people have an ability. They first assess you, what is your ability to understand. And according to the assessment of that understanding, they show you the way. If you are capable of going in a Samruddhi Mahamarg, they will show you a big, fast way. But if you are not capable, you have not reached that level, they show you a way which is appropriate to each one of you. Deva Puzu Zata, Devula Udale, Pariyasi Sadguru Raya Re, Dutodya Harini, Padiyavara Ali, Ti Mukha Vida Pani Pyali Re, and then Andhalyane Dekile. A blind man could see. Actually, blind people see better because they see beyond you. Andhalyane Dekile, Bahiryane Aikile, Pangalyane Patalaga Kelare. This is the greatness of the Nama, the Tattva. And then says, Eka Janaradani, Eka Pane Vinavi, Akhanda Rama Nama Smarare. Once you start the chant, the meditation, it is not a ritual act as many children would think. It is a great act because it enables you to kind of focus your mind and take a single path. And as you keep on doing it, there is a beautiful phrase in Sanskrit called asakrit. Asakrit is to by heart without understanding. I am sure in our childhood we by hearted the tables. 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6. We did not understand. We just, our parents forced us to by heart and we by hearted the table. And slowly as you grow up, it starts dawning on you. And even in your sleep, somebody pushes you, it will come just without your realization. So that is a subconscious. So once you have trained your mind to such an extent that even the subconscious can reach that level, that is when you start enjoying your life. That is when you start enjoying nature around you. That is when you start enjoying Nam Sankirtan. That is when you will start enjoying Marathi Abhang. So this great saint, Sant Eknath, brought about a revolution roughly about 400 years back. And he is going to tell us a little more about that event that is going to happen. But Sant Eknath brought about a revolution because the original bunch of saints was started, of course, with Sant Nivritinath, Sant Jnaneshwar, Sant Sopandev, Sant Muktai. And the Samakalin were Sant Namdev, Sant Chokhameda, Sant Janabai, Sant Savatamali. And then there was a little gap. And during that gap, Ratan Shardaji, for your kind information, the Aurangzeb sent 1,000 Sufi saints to Aurangabad, which is now Sambhaji Nagar, and ensured that our dharma will get destroyed and the Sufi saints will establish their kind of music, which is also bhakti music. But everything is right in life. But we have our tradition. Our tradition has to be maintained. Our tradition has to be nurtured. So that complete link was broken. And it was Sant Eknath who brought it back. So this was the greatness of Sant Eknath. Now Sant Eknath did one more very interesting thing. We all now know that Ayodhya is being rebuilt. Do you know where was the original Murti of Ayodhya kept? Nobody knew. It is only recently that they discovered that Sant Eknath had carried it from Ayodhya, went to Rameshwaram, and we have all seen the story that some donkey was on the road and it wanted water, and Sant Eknath gave that water which he carried in a kavadi from Ganga to Rameshwaram. And he gave that water to that poor animal which was going to die. And after that, Sant Eknath never went to Rameshwaram. He went back to his house. And en route, he deposited the original Murti which was there in Ayodhya to a mutt in Karnataka. And now they have retrieved it, and that is the Murti which is going to be consecrated in Ayodhya. Now imagine, our saints were not only saintly people, they were very, very intelligent. They were highly blessed with the divine power, and they exactly knew what to do. So when we had invasion, these saints had their own link. And this link was strengthened by the great Shivaji Maharaj. Let me tell you a story about Sant Tukaram. Shivaji Maharaj was very keen to go and have darshan of Sant Tukaram. So he goes to Dehu, where Sant Tukaram used to live. And he thought Sant Tukaram, such a famous personality, he would have a big house and all that. So he crosses the river, Indrayani river, and finds that he is not able to spot Tukaram Maharaj's house. So there is a person working on the sand. So he asks him, where can I find Tukaram? He says, which Tukaram? So Shivaji Maharaj says, what a kind of stupid guy are you? Don't you know Tukaram Maharaj, who has composed thousands of poetries? He said, oh really? Is he that famous? So Shivaji Maharaj gets very annoyed. How this man doesn't even know what Tukaram is. Then the man working on the sand says, Raja, you can go there, you can ask them. I think there is some Tukaram living there. So Raja by that time had got down from the horse and he had to climb it again. And the person sitting on the sand gives his hand so that Shivaji can step on his hand and climb the horse. And he gives that தமிழில் லாடம்னு சொல்லுவோம். அந்த லாடத்தில் ஏறுறதுக்கு யாராவது உதவி பண்ணினா தான் அதில் காலை வச்சு ஏற முடியும். So he gives the hand and then he rides to that place and he reaches that house only to find that Tukaram is working on the river on the sand. Now Shivaji feels completely annoyed with himself. The saint whose feet I had to touch has touched my feet. Absolute blasphemy. And Maharaj feels very annoyed with himself and then becomes the greatest disciple of Shivaji, Tukaram Maharaj. But Tukaram Maharaj says, I am nobody to give you enlightenment. You want enlightenment, you go to Samartha Ramadas. And that is how Shivaji Maharaj came to Samartha Ramadas of Sajjangarh. And Samartha Ramadas becomes the Rajaguru and gives him the direction how to protect dharma. And one of the lessons that Samartha Ramadas taught Shivaji is you create a ring of informers to protect our dharma, and that ring of informers were the Maharashtrian saints. So in addition to being divine, they were the people who protected our dharma. Otherwise all this would have gone, no temples, no nothing. It was the Maharashtrian saints and Chhatrapati Shivaji who jointly protected our dharma, and we are here today coming back. And this happened not just then, it had happened even before. 1200 years back, when Adi Shankara went around the country, our dharma was completely lost due to the interruption by the Samana Madam, the Bauddha Madam, the Jaina Madam. All these rituals were getting forgotten. And he was the one who did the Punar Nirman, and he gave us a beautiful Ashtakam, which was actually written on him by one of his disciples, Totaka, which goes something like, Vidita kila shastra sudha jaladhe mahito parishat katithartanide hrudaye kalaye vimalam charanam bhavashankara deshikame sharanam karuna varunala yapala yama bhavasagara dukkha viduna hrutam rachaya kila darshana tatvamidam bhavashankara deshikame sharanam bhavayeva bhavani diveni taram samajayata chetasi kautukita mama varaya moha mahajaladim Bhavashankara deshikame sharan bhavata janata suhita bhavita nijaboda vicharana charupate kalayeshwara jiva vikiveka vidam Bhavashankara deshikame sharan sukrute dikrute bahuda bhavato bhavita samadarshana lalasata atidhina mimam paripalayama Bhavashankara deshikame sharan guru pungava ketanate samatam mayatam nahi kopi sudi sharanagata vatsala Tvamida Bhavashankara deshikame sharan jagati mavitum kalitakritayo vicharanti mahasachalata ahimam sturi vatra vibhasi guru Bhavashankara deshikame sharan vidita namaya vishadaika kala nacha kinchana kanchana masti guru deva videhi kripam sahaja Bhavashankara deshikame sharan. This 8 paragraphs explain all that what a guru is. How should the guru be? How do you select your guru? And it says, Ahimam Sturivatra Vibhasi Guru. The real guru is the one who does not have a lustre which is reflected. He should have a lustre of his own. Himam is eyes or Chandra. Ahimam, not like the moon. Moon derives its lustre from the sun. So, Ahimam Sturivatra Vibhasi Guru Bhavashankara. At some point of time, I am going to speak on this Panduranga, this Shankara Ashtakam itself. This is called Totaka Ashtakam. It's an extremely interesting subject. But coming back to Sant Eknath. Eknath was born in a place called Python. How many of you have gone to Python? Please raise your hand so that I know what to speak. Perfect. I see 3, 4, 5, and of course the 2, Milind Gosaviji and his son, they belong to Python. And having taken birth in the great illustrious family of Sant Bhanudas, Sant Eknath was the great grandson of Sant Bhanudas. Sant Bhanudas in turn made a revolutionary change in our dharma. And on this day, on the Aashada Ekadashi day, suddenly in Pandharpur, where Vithala is there and thousands of people congregate to have a darshan of Vithala for a fleeting second. Yeah, Satishji. For a fleeting second, they wanted to have the darshan of Vithala, and suddenly they find that under the void, Vitthal Murti did not exist there. So all the Varkaris, which are just poor people, they are agriculturists, they are farmers. They all didn't know, where has Vitthal gone? Does he also want money and prosperity? We are poor people, we can't afford him, so he has got annoyed on us and left this place. So they don't know what to do, they start crying, and then somebody says, why don't we go and complain to Sant Bhanudas? He can find some way, he can find where Vitthal has vanished. So they all go to Sant Bhanudas, and Sant Bhanudas comes to the Pandharpur temple and realizes that Krishna Devaraya, the great king from Karnataka, comes to Pandharpur and realizes that he is not being properly protected. The temple is all not well maintained, and decides that he will take him to his kingdom and keep Vithala there and pray to Vithala and build a beautiful temple there which is appropriate to Vitthala's kirti. So when he goes to remove the idol from there, from the Garbhagraha, Vithala says, 1 second, with Krishna Devaraya, why do you want to displace me? So Krishna Devaraya, being a king, says, Vithala, I am a great devotee of yours, and my Guru Vedavyasa has spoken so much about you, and Purandaradasa, who has composed hundreds and thousands of kritis, all that has happened in Pandharpur, but you are here and people don't even light the lamp. So how can you be in such a terrible situation? I will take you to my palace. I'll build a beautiful temple for you and I'll consecrate you there. Vithala says, do you think I'm happy with prosperity? There is a beautiful Hindi song. Because Ratan Sardaji has come, I want to narrate this. Thade vitapara nikata kati para kara pitambara dhari re. Shank chakra do hath biraje govardhana giridhari re. Mohan Murat Khub Surat Atnagar Brajubasi re. Atasi Kusuma Samakanti Viraje Mora Makuta Galatulasi re. Bhima ke tat nikat Pandharapur Ajab Kshetra Sukhadayi re. Tala vida aur mudhang baje santan ki pad chayi re. Bhajan pujan aur kirtan nishidin gavat hari guna leela re. Prema sukha hari levat baita kundalika matwala re. Chhod diya vaikunth sukha hari bhav bhakti ka bhuka re. Kahat kabira hari ko beta lagata tulasi bukka re. So Krishna does not even want Vaikuntha. All the prosperity that you have in Vaikuntha, he hates all that. Chhod diya Vaikuntha sukha hari bhav bhakti ka bhukare. He is yearning for your bhakti. He is yearning for your bhav. He is yearning for your 2 tears in your eyes. That is why he is standing there on Aashada Ekadashi and gives darshan to lakhs of devotees. So he wants that. So he tells Krishna Devaraya, I don't want comfort. And people have this wrong notion that if you have 8 ACs in the house, you will get a better sleep. No, certainly not. You can sleep beautifully on a single cot or under a tree. But we have a wrong notion about what is happiness. And about that Abhang I will tell later. But now coming back to Krishna Devaraya's story. So Krishna Devaraya says, no Vitthal, whatever you say, I'm not going to listen to you. Sometimes the devotee overrules the master. And that happens when the devotee is so profusely dedicated. So Krishna Devaraya says, no, I will take you to my temple, my palace. And then Vitthal says, okay, fine, I'll listen to you, but under one condition. If you act in a manner which is not in keeping with your king's dharma, Shengol, if you upset any of my devotee, I will leave you and come back to Pandharpur. Krishna Devaraya says, fine, so what? I'm not going to insult anybody. I'm not going to demean anybody. So fine, I accept this condition. And Krishna Devaraya takes him to a place and a beautiful palatial temple is built. Can somebody mention that name? Where was this temple built? It is still existing. சொல்லுங்க ஒரு போட்டோ கிடைக்கலாம் பார்ட்டிசிபேஷனுக்கு காஸ்ட் கிடையாது Okay, I'll give you some more clues. This is the only place in the world where you find musical stones. There are 56 pillars and each pillar makes a particular tone, which is actually 56 is, there are 7 octaves in music. Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Yed. எட்டாவது ஷட்ஜ எது யாரெல்லாம் ஹம்பிகள் அம்மாடி 10-15 கேட்டு நோ யூ ஆர் நாட் அலவுட் யூ ஆர் பார்ட் ஆஃப் தி குரூப் ஸோ 56 8 7 56 ஸோ தெர் ஆர் 7 notes and 8 octaves அது ஒரு way to interpret or there are 8 notes and 7 octaves whatever. That is the human can perceive only such notes. Even if you go through a pitch chart, which is a very famous thing while scientifically understanding music, so that pitch chart would refer to 7 octaves and 7 octaves means 56 pillars. So that 56 pillars even exist today in Hampi. A beautiful temple was built, but why there is no Murti? Because this Vitthal Murti was taken there. It was to be consecrated there, but in the interim time, it was kept in the palace. And that is when this lakhs and lakhs of devotees, the masses, had gone to Bhanudas to complain that our Vitthal is missing. So Bhanudas comes to know that this Vitthal Murti is actually in Krishna Devaraya's palace. So he says, I will go and reclaim it. So on Ashada Ekadashi day, the complaint is formally lodged with Sant Bhanudas, and he then decides to go to Krishna Devaraya. So he walks all the distance, goes to the palace area, and the sevaks stop him. He said, you can't enter this. This is God's premises. So you can't enter this place. So he takes care of himself in a small house and sleeps there and checks with people, how do I gain access to the Vitthal Murti? So people say, you can't enter the palace. He is kept in a very secure area where there is a door and it is locked and you can't reach there. So Bhanudas says, no, let me try. So he goes there during the night, and because he was a saint, he also had some powers. The door opened, the lock opened, and Vitthal comes out and hugs Bhanudas. Oh Bhanudas, I'm missing all of you. I have been brought here and I'm kept here like I'm being kept in a jail. They even put a lock so that I can't run away. And I'm so thrilled that you have come to meet me today. And while telling that, they spend the night, and finally in the morning, Vitthal says, now you go from here, otherwise they will catch you. Bhanudas says, no, I can't go without you. I need you. So he says, no, I can't come because I've given a word to the Raja. I can't go. So as a parting gift, Vitthal removes his Tulasi Mala, and along with that, another expensive Muttu Mala is also removed, and both are put on Bhanudas' neck. So Bhanudas comes out happily, but with a terrible sadness that he could not bring back Vithala. So he is sitting on the Tundai, crying profusely that I could not get back Vithala. Just then, the news spreads that a very expensive Muttumala, which was on the neck of Lord Vithala, is missing. And it is missing despite the fact that the lock is intact. Now, how can something be stolen from a place when the lock is intact? So immediately everybody starts searching, and somebody says, there was a guy yesterday here who was asking what is the way to palace. And that guy did not look to be a man from this area. He's come from some unknown place. So everybody searches for Bhanudas, and ultimately he gets arrested. And he is brought to the king, and the king sees that the expensive garland is around his neck. So the king asks him, how did you get this? So he says, I went to meet Vithala. He is my God. We have been talking to each other for centuries. So Raja says, no, don't give me all this crap. Judges will never believe you if there is no evidence. The judges need evidence. Even internally, if they find that you are true, but they cannot give a judgment that you are true because there is no evidence. So the king says, with a locked door, how can you enter and how can Vithala come meet you? You're all giving stories. So ultimately, the judgment is given that this man must be hanged. So Sant Bhanudas is chained with the two hands, and he is taken to the place where the hanging is going to happen. So Bhanudas says, oh Vithala, I came to meet you. I came to retrieve you. The hundreds of masses in Aashadi Ekadashi day in Panduranga are not able to have your darshan. Don't you have mercy on them? Why do you think that you must live in a palace? Since when have you started liking all this prosperity and comfort? We are poor people. We can't afford you as a god. So you want to leave us and come here? And what wrong have I done? You have put this mala around my neck, and now I'm unable to explain to these people. They want evidence. What evidence? What can I tell you? If my life has to go because I'm your staunch devotee, let my life go. Deha javo athava raho. Pandurangi drida baho. Charanana sodi anyatha. This was the feeling of Sant Bhanudas. He says, to hell with it. If I'm going to be hanged because I'm your staunch devotee, so be it. I don't care. And that's when Vitthal realizes that a complete blunder has happened in that area. And he manifests himself and tells Krishna Devaraya, you had given me a promise that you will not upset my devotee. And today you have upset my devotee. Raja says, oh my God, I should have inquired well. To arrive at a judgment without analyzing the fact itself is wrong. And the responsibility of that dharma is on the judge who occupies the seat. So it is not merely what is being presented to you. If you are not satisfied, or if you are not completely satisfied with the evidence provided, you have a right to ask for evidence. You have a right to investigate the matter further. And without doing that, if you have given a judgment, the king was wrong. Krishna Devaraya was found at fault. So Vitthal says, I have to go back to Panduranga. So Bhanudas becomes so happy, carries the Vithala and walks for miles together, and he reaches Panduranga on the Kartika Ekadashi day. So Ashada Ekadashi, the complaint is lodged. Kartika Ekadashi is when he is brought back into the temple, and the Vitthal that you have darshan today is the Vitthal brought back by that Sant Bhanudas. And that is why, yeah, you can clap. So in the Nalu Masa, in our concept is called Chatur Masa, from Ashada Ekadashi to Kartika Ekadashi. In Maharashtrian tradition, they call it Devashayani. Actually, the god goes to sleep during these 4 months. So, Ashada Ekadashi, the greatness is everybody goes to Panduranga for having that fleeting darshan, and Kartika Ekadashi is celebrated because Vitthal came back to Panduranga, and this great happening happened because of Sant Bhanudas. So, the gentleman sitting here is not an ordinary individual. He hails from that family which was of Sant Bhanudas, who was a Surya Upasaka, and then his great grandson, Namaskaram Gauri Shankarji, and his great grandson was Sant Eknath, and the 13th generation of Sant Eknath is Shri Milind Gosavi. Bola. Bola. Oh. A 2-minute
एकात्मता साधुनी जाण एका, एकादशाची करी शुद्ध टीका. जनार्दनाचे प्रिय पात्र पाही, त्या एकनाथा स्मरतो सदाही. सद्गुरू श्री एकनाथ महाराजांच्या चरणी नतमस्तक होऊन, परमात्मा पांडुरंगाच्या चरणी नतमस्तक होऊन मी आत्ताच विठ्ठल भक्त गणेशकुमारजींनी भानुदास महाराजांचा संपूर्ण चरित्र आपल्याला सांगितलं आहे. ज्यावेळेस कृष्णदेवरायांनी त्यांच्या सैनिकांना सांगितलं की यांना माझ्यासमोर आणू नका आणि डायरेक्ट सुळावर द्या, त्यावेळेस भानुदास महाराजांनी एक अभंग लिहिला आहे. जरी हे आकाशवर पडो पाय, ब्रह्मगोल भंगा जाय, वडवानल त्रिभुवन खाय, तरी तुझीच वाट पाहेगा विठोबा. न करी अनिकांचा पांगेला, नामधारक तुझाची अंकेला, सप्तही सागर समरस होती, जरी हे विरून जाय क्षती, पंचमहाभूत प्रलय पावते, तरी तू माझाचे सांगातिका विठोबा. भल तसे जड पडो भारी, परी नामन सांडो नटळे निर्धारी, पतिव्रता जेवे प्राणेश्वरी, तेची भानुदास विनंती करेगा विठोबा. हे ऐकल्यानंतर पांडुरंग त्या सुळाचा वटवृक्ष झाला आणि पांडुरंग अंगुष्ट्याएवढे झाले, भानुदास महाराजांच्या परशीत बसले आणि दरकोस दर मुक्काम करीत कार्तिकीपर्यंत पंढरपुरात आले. आणि पंढरपुरात भानुदास महाराजांनी परत त्यांची पुनर्प्रतिष्ठापना करून आज यांनी सांगितल्याप्रमाणे आज आपण जे दर्शन घेतो ते भानुदास महाराजांनी साक्षात त्या पांडुरंगाचं तिथं प्रतिष्ठापना केली, त्याच्यामुळं आज आपण दर्शन घेतो. आपण मंदिरात दर्शनाला जाताना भानुदास महाराजांनी पांडुरंगाने सांगितलं की तुम्ही मला काही मागा, तर भानुदास महाराज म्हणे मला काहीही नको आहे, एक तर सतत मला आपल्या चरणापाशी ठेवा आणि दुसरी गोष्ट तुम्ही माझ्या वंशात जन्म घ्या. म्हणून भानुदासाचे कुळी महाविष्णूचा अवतार, म्हणजे हा संत एकनाथ महाराजांचा. भानुदास महाराज, चक्रपाणी महाराज, त्याच्यानंतर सूर्यकांत महाराज आणि सूर्यनारायण महाराजांचे संत एकनाथ महाराज, असे हे भानुदास महाराजांपासून ही नाथांची चौथी पिढी ही आहे. आणि आज आपण आमचा परंपरेमध्ये जो गजर आहे भानुदास एकनाथ, तो ह्याच पद्धतीने याला त्याचा तो संदर्भ असल्यामुळे आमच्याकडे भानुदास एकनाथ हा गजर असतो. आणि ह्या गजराने नाथषष्ठी, पंढरपूरची यात्रा, त्र्यंबकेश्वरची यात्रा, आळंदीची यात्रा, सद्गुरू जनार्दन स्वामीची यात्रा, या ठिकाणी नाथ महाराजांच्या आमच्या सर्व वंशजांकडून ह्या वाऱ्या केल्या जातात. आणि आज इथं यायचं कारण वास्तविक पाहता आम्ही पंढरपूरला पाहिजेत, पण आमची सर्व बाकीची मंडळी पंढरपुरात आहेत आणि संतांच्या वाङ्मयाचा प्रचार प्रसार ज्या ठिकाणी होतो त्या ठिकाणी आपण जाऊन त्या ठिकाणी नामस्मरणाचा, पांडुरंगाच्या नामाचा आणि संतच्या असलेल्या वाङ्मयाचा ह्याचा प्रचार प्रसार आपल्या हाताने जो काही थोडा होतो तो करावा, म्हणून आम्ही इथं आलो आहे. आता इथं आल्यानंतर आम्ही भानुदास चतुर्दशी दिवशी आम्ही इथून गेल्यावर पंढरपूरला जाणार. भानुदास चतुर्दशी म्हणजे भानुदास महाराजांची पुण्यतिथी चतुर्दशीला असते आणि पौर्णिमेला काला करून आम्ही तिथून परत वापस पैठणकडे निघतो. असं आमची त्याला पंढरपूरची आमची प्रथा आहे. त्या पद्धतीने हा आमचा कार्यक्रम असतो. आज ह्या ठिकाणी अभंगरत्न गणेशकुमारजी यांच्या गाण्याचं वैशिष्ट्य म्हणजे आम्ही पैठणला यांचा कार्यक्रम झालेला आहे. मी 2-3 ठिकाणी यांचा कार्यक्रम ऐकला आहे. कर्नाटकी संगीत आणि उत्तर भारतीय संगीत याचा उत्कृष्ट मिलाप म्हणजे गणेशकुमारजी. सुंदर असा मिलाप, पांडुरंगाचं नामस्मरण आणि त्याबरोबर ह्या सर्व गोष्टी आपल्याला सांगितल्या जातात आणि खूपच पांडुरंग परमात्म्याला आणि नाथ महाराजांना असंच त्यांच्याकडून हे कार्य कायम घडत राहावं हीच त्यांच्या चरणी प्रार्थना करून माझे मी 2 शब्द.
जय सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. Or one song and then I would leave it to Shri Muthukrishnan ji for inviting Shri Gauri Shankar ji to say a few words. So we will take one song to get the mood back and then on to you. Okay. बालर्कं प्ररमिन्द्रं नीलजटिलं भस्माङ्गं रागोज्ज्वलं शान्तं नादविलीनं चित्तपवनं शार्दूलचर्माम्बरं ब्रह्मज्ञै सनकादिभिः परिवृतं सिद्धैः समाराधितं दत्तात्रेयमुपास्महे दत्तात्रेयम् उपास्महे हृदि मुधा ध्यानं सदा योगिभिः सदा योगिभिः सदा योगिभिः सदा 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 योगिभिः सदा योगिभिः तीन शिरे सहा हात तया माझा दंडवत तीन शिरे तीन शिरे सहा हात तया माझा दंडवत तीन गवत काखे जोडी पुढे श्वान नित्य जान्हवीचे स्थान काखे जोडी पुढे श्वान नित्य जान्हवीचे स्थान हो दिगंबर दिगंबर श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबर दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा 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 श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबर दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा जय दिगंबर दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबर दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा जय दिगंबर दिगंबर श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबर दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा माता शोभे जठाभार माता शोभे जटाभार अंगी विभूती सुंदर माता शोभे माता शोभे माता शोभे जठाभार अंगी विभूती सुंदर काके जोडी पुढे श्वान नित्य जान्हवीचे स्नान हो दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा 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 श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा शंख चक्र शंख चक्र शंख चक्र गदा हाती पायी खडावा गरजती शंख चक्र गदा हाती पायी खडावा गरजती माता शोभे जठाभार अंगी विभूती सुंदर हो दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा 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 श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा म्हणे दिगंबर तुका म्हणे दिगंबर तया माझा नमस्कार तुका म्हणे दिगंबर तया माझा नमस्कार तुका म्हणे दिगंबर तया माझा नमस्कार माथा शोभे जटाभार अंगी विभूती सुंदर हो दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा 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 श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा हा परम सनातन विश्वभरुनी उरल हा परम सनातन विश्वभरुनी उरल गुरुदत्त राज ऋषी कुलात अवतरला गुरुदत्त राज ऋषी कुलात अवतरला स्मितरम्य वदन काषाय वसनधारी पीयूषयुक्त करी रक्त झटित धारी निज भक्त त्राणकारणी शूल धरिला गुरुदत्त राज ऋषी कुलात अवतरला हो दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा 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 श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा बांधुनी कोपमुरुडूनि जटा मकुटी घातलिया वनमाल दिव्य कंठी करधृत डमरूतुन उपजति ज्ञान कला गुरुदत्त राज दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपादवल्लभ दिगंबरा 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 श्रीपादवल्लभ दिगंबरा श्री दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपादवल्लभ दिगंबरा 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 श्रीपादवल्लभ जय दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपादवल्लभ दिगंबरा दिगंबर दिगंबर श्रीपादवल्लभ दिगंबर दिगंबरा श्रीपादवल्लभ दिगंबर श्रीपादवल्लभ दिगंबर श्रीपादवल्लभ दिगंबर श्रीपादवल्लभ दिगंबर श्री இந்த பாட்டுக்கு பின்னாடி ஒரு பெரிய காரணம் இருக்கு. ஒரு 10 வருஷமோ அதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு ஞாபகம் இல்லை, மகா சன்னிதானம் நகர பிரவேசம் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தா இந்த கோவிலுக்கு. அங்கேருந்து சொல்லி அனுப்பிச்சா தத்தாத்திரேயரை பற்றி பாட சொல்லுங்கன்னு. அப்போ பாடின பாட்டு இது. ஹா பரம சனாதன விஸ்வபருணி உரலா குரு தத்தராஜ ரிஷிகுலாத்த அவதரலா. ரொம்ப அழகான ஒரு மகாராஷ்டிரா பாட்டு. ஆனால் இப்போ வந்து மகாராஷ்டிராவில் இதை பாடுறது இல்லை, ஏன்னா நாங்கள் பாட ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டோம். ஒரு சின்ன நாமாவளி பாடிட்டு ஐ வில் ஹேண்ட் இட் ஓவர். शान्तकरं भुजगशयनं शान्तकरं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्ति लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं लक्ष्मीकान्तं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं शङ्खचक्रधर वैजयन्तिधर शङ्खचक्रधर वैजयन्तिधर पीताम्बरधर गोवर्धनधर तुलसी माला शोभविगल गरुडगमन हरि पंकज नाभ विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोविंद विठ्ठल रुक्मिणी कांता रूपानंद जननी जनक तुझी माव कळेना विठ्ठल गोविंदा विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोपाला विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोविंदा विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोपाला चंद्रभागे तिरी चंद्रभागे तिरी चंद्रभागे तिरी चंद्रभागे तिरी चंद्रभागे तिरी चंद्रभागे तिरी हो चंद्रभागे तिरी उभा विटेवर करकटावरी रंगशिलेवरी चंद्रभागे तिरी उभा विटेवर करकटावरी रंगशिलेवरी महाद्वारी 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 गरुडपारी विनविनाथ जनार्दन विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोविंद विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोपाल विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोविंद विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोपाल हो विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोविंद विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोपाल विठ्ठल गोविंद विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोपाल विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोविंद विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोपाल विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोविंद विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोपाल विठ्ठल गोविंद विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोपाल विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोविंद विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोपाल विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोविंद विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गोपाल विठ्ठल 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 जय 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 विठ्ठल विठ्ठल हो विठ्ठल 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 அடுத்த தடவை நான் இங்க பாடணும்னா இங்க இருக்கிறவா எல்லாரும் இந்த விட்டல சொல்லணும். இல்லைன்னா முத்துகிருஷ்ணன் மாமா சொன்னாலும் நான் பாட மாட்டேன். விட்டல விட்டல கோவிந்த விட்டல விட்டல கோபால 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 விட்டல 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 இது ஏதோ நீங்க ஒரு விஷமமா நினைச்சிருக்கீர்கள். பண்டரிபுரத்துக்கு வரும் ஒவ்வொரு டிவோட்டியும் இப்படிதான். அவளுக்கு பாக்கி எல்லாம் மறந்து போயிடும். ஆனந்தமா அந்த ரோட்ல மழையில ஆடிக்கிண்டு பாடிக்கிண்டு ஒத்தர ஆலிங்கனம் பண்ணிட்டு பிரேமே ஆலிங்கன ஆனந்தே பூஜின பாவே ஒவ்வாளினம் ஹணேனாமா இப்படி பாடிட்டு போகும்பொழுது அது ஒரு தனி சைத்தன்யம். நமக்கு தெரியாம நம்ம உடம்புல ஒரு சைத்தன்யம் பிறந்து அப்ப இது மாதிரி ஆடும்பொழுது நானும் இது மாதிரி ஆடி இருக்கேன். அந்த ஆடினத்தினாலேயோ என்னவோ தான் இன்னைக்கு நான் பாடிட்டு இருக்கேன். அந்த காலத்துல தேவி நவரத்தின மாலைன்னு ஒரு விஷயம் தமிழ் அப்படியே கரைச்சு அதுல அகஸ்தியர் எழுதியிருக்கார். ஆக்கும் தொழில் ஐங்கரன் ஆற்றநலம் பூக்கும் நகையாள் புவனேஸ்வரி பால் சேர்க்கும் நவரத்தின மாலையினை காக்கும் கணநாயக வாரணமே கற்றும் தெளியார் காடே கதியாய் கண்மூடி நெடுங்கனவான தவம் பெற்றும் தெளியார் நிலையன் நிலவம் பெருகும் பிழையேன் பேசத்தகுமோ பற்றும் வைரப் படைவாள் வைர பகைவர்க்கு எவனாக எடுத்தவளே வற்றாத அருட்சுனையே வருவாய் மாதா ஜெய ஓம் லலிதாம்பிகையே. மூலக்கனலே சரணம் சரணம் முடியா முதலே சரணம் சரணம் கோலக்கிளியே சரணம் சரணம் குன்றாத ஒளிக்கு உவையே சரணம் நீலத் திருமேனியிலே நினைவாய் நினைவற்றெளியேன் நின்றேன் அருள்வாய் வாலைக்குமரி வருவாய் வருவாய் மாதா ஜெயவோம் லலிதாம்பிகைய. முத்தே வரும் முத்தொழிலாற்றிடவே முன்னின்றருளும் முதல்வி சரணம் வித்தே விளைவே சரணம் சரணம் வேதாந்த நிவாசினியே சரணம் தத்தேறிய நான் தனையன் தாய் நீ சாகாதவரம் தரவே வருவாய் மத்தேறு ததிக்கு இணைவாழ்வடையேன் மாதா ஜெயவோம் லலிதாம்பிகையே. அந்தி மயங்கிய வானவிதானம் நன்னை நடம் செய்யும் ஆனந்த மேடை சிந்தை நிரம்ப வளம் பொழிப்பாரோ தேன் பொழிலாள் மீது செய்தவள் யாரோ எந்த இடத்தும் மனத்தும் இருப்பாள் எண்ணுபவர்க்கு அருள் எண்ண மிகுந்தாள் மந்திர வேத மயப்பொருளானாள் மாதா ஜெயவோம் லலிதாம்பிகை. காணக்கிடையா கதியானவளே கருதக்கிடையா கலையானவளே பூனக்கிடையா பொலிவானவளே புனையக்கிடையா புதுமைத்தவளே நாணித்திரு நாமமும் நின் துதியும் நவிலாதவரை நாடாதவளே மாணிக்க ஒளி கதிரே வருவாய் மாதா ஜெய ஓம் லலிதாம்பிகையே. மரகத வடிவே சரணம் சரணம் மதுரித பதமே சரணம் சரணம் சுரபதி பணிய திகழ்வாய் சரணம் சுத்தி ஜதி லயமே இசையே சரணம் ஹரஹர சிவ என்று அடியவர் குழும அவர் அருள் பெற அருள் அமுதே சரணம் வரரவ நிதியே சரணம் சரணம் மாதா ஜெயவோம் லலிதாம்பிகை. பூமேவிய நான் புரியும் செயல்கள் பொன்றாது பயன் குன்றாவரமும் தீமேலிடினும் ஜெயசக்தி எனத்திடமாய் அடியேன் மொழியும் திறமும் கோமேதகமே குளிர்வான் நிறவே குழல்வாய் மொழியே தருவாய் வருவாய் மாமேருவிலே வளர் கோகிலமே மாதா ஜெயவோம் லலிதாம்பிகையே. ரஞ்சனி நந்தினி அங்கணி பதும ராக விகாச வியாபினி அம்ப சஞ்சல ரோக நிவாரணி வாணி சாம்பவி சந்திர கலாதரி ராணி அஞ்சனமேனி அலங்கிருத பூரணி அமிர்தஸ்வரூபிணி நித்ய கல்யாணி மஞ்சுளமேரு ஸ்ருங்க நிவாசினி மாதா ஜெயவோம் லலிதாம்பிகையே. இருங்கோ வலையொத்தவினை கலையொத்த மனம் அருளப்பறையார் ஒலித்தவிதால் நிலைவற்றெடிய முடியத்தகுமோ நிகழம் துகளாக வரும் தருவாய் அலைவற்று அசைவற்று அனுபூதி பெறும் அடியார் முடிவாள் வைட்டூரியமே மலையத்துவசன் மகளே வருவாய் மாதா ஜெய ஓம் லலிதாம்பிகைய. எவரெத்தினமும் இசைவாய் லலிதா நவரத்தின மாலை நவின்றிடுவார் அவர் அற்புத சக்தியெல்லாம் அடைவார் சிவரத்தினமாய் திகழ்வார் அவரே. இப்போ கைதட்டலாம். எனக்கு சின்ன வயசில் நிறைய பேர் இதெல்லாம் நீங்கள் எப்போ இதெல்லாம் நொற்று பண்ணினீள்? மனிதனுக்கு ஒரு தகுதி வரணும்னா குருநாதாள் அனுகிரகம் பண்ணினா மட்டுமே வரும். தலகிழ நின்னுங்கோ இதெல்லாம் வராது. ஒரு குருநாதா உங்களை தொட்டு ஸ்பர்ஷம் பண்ணி ஒரு அனுகிரகமோ ஆசீர்வாதமோ கொடுத்தால் அந்த க்ஷணமே அனைத்து கலைகளும் நம்முள் இறங்கும். அந்த நம்பிக்கை நமக்கு இருக்கணும். கோவிலுக்கு எதுக்காக வரோம்? இதெல்லாம் நம்ம குருநாதாள் நம்மளுக்கு காண்பிக்கும் வழி. இப்படி அவ காண்பிக்கும் வழியில் நம்ம கேள்வி கேட்காமல் அவ சொன்னதை ஏற்றுக்கிறோன்னா இந்த கலைகள் அனைத்தும் உங்களுள் இறங்கும். இது சத்தியம். அதனால இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு புனிதமான ஒரு நாள் ஆஷாட ஏகாதசி. எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் இன்னைக்கு முத்துகிருஷ்ண மாமா மேலே. அவர் திருப்பி திருப்பி சொல்ல சொல்ல இந்த ஆஷாட ஏகாதசி இங்கே நடக்கிறது. ஏன்னா நாங்கள் ஆஷாட ஏகாதசி நடத்துகிற இடம் மகாராஷ்டிரியன் லொக்காலிட்டியில். அவர் பிடிச்ச என்ன செம்பூர்லேயே இதை பண்ண வச்சுட்டார். அதனால் நான் முத்துகிருஷ்ணன் மாமாட்ட கேட்டுக்கிறேன், அவன் மேற்கொண்டு என்ன. சரி, நீங்கள் ரெண்டு வார்த்தை பேசுகிறீங்களா? சரி, அவளுக்கு வந்தவாளுக்கு கொஞ்சம் மரியாதை பண்ணி விடலாமா? இந்த ஷால் எடுத்து என்ன போட்டு விடுங்க. நான் சொல்லிகிட்டே வரேன். நீங்கள் सतीश व्यास जी आए थे, किधर निकल लेफ्ट எது? அதான் நான் பேரை சொல்லிட்டே வரேன். நீங்கள் அவள் அப்படியே போட்டு விடுங்க அங்கேயே ஷால் பண்ணி. பண்டிட் சதீஷ் வியாஸ் வந்திருந்தார். அவர் ஏதோ சீக்கிரமாக போயிட்டார். give me 2 minutes. We will try to rework. அதுக்குள்ள ஒரு பாட்டு பாடிடலாமா? कस्तूरी तिलकं ललाटफलके वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभं नासाग्रे नवमौक्तिको करतले वेणुं करे कङ्कणं सर्वाङ्गे हरि 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 सर्वाङ्गे हरि चन्दनं च कलयन् कण्ठेशमुक्तावळे गोपस्त्री परिवेष्टिता विजयते गोपाल 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 चूडामणि केशवा माधव नारायण केशव माधव नारायण 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 नाही केली तुझी सेवा दुःख वाटत से माझा जीव नाही केली नाही केली नाही केली तुझी सेवा दुःख वाटत से माझा जीव दुष्ट पापीण दुष्ट पापीण मीहीण नाही केले तुझे ध्यान नाही केले तुझे ध्यान नाही केली तुझी सेवा दुःख वाटत से माझा जे जे दुःख झाले मला जे जे दुःख झाले मला जे जे दुःख झाले मला ते त्वा सोशिले विठ्ठल जे जे दुःख झाले मला ते त्वा सोशिले विठ्ठल रात्रंदिवस माझे पाशी दडू लागलसी रात्रंदिवस माझे पाशी दडू कांडू लागलसी क्षमा क्षमा हरी क्षमा क्षमा करावी देवराया क्षमा करावी देवराया दासी जनी लागे पाया दासी जनी लागे पाया नाही केली तुझी सेवा दुःख वाटत से माझा जीव नाही केली तुझी सेवा प्रहलाद नाम उछारिया, जब दैत्य चाबुक मारिया, प्रहलाद नाम उछारिया, उसे नक से विदारिया, तुम याद हो के न याद। जब दैत्य चाबुक मारिया, प्रहलाद नाम उछारिया, नक से असुर को विदारिया, तुम याद हो के न याद। गजराज पे ध्रुव को पिता निकला दिया, हरि नाम में मन ला दिया, उसे अचल दाम दिला दिया, तुम याद हो के न याद। द्रौपदी की लाज उतारिया, जब कृष्ण केशव माधव नारायण पुकारिया, ब्रह्मानंद चीर पधारिया, तुम याद हो के न याद। विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय जय विठ्ठल, जय विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय जय विठ्ठल, विठ्ठल जय 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 विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय जय विठ्ठल, विठ्ठल जय 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 विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय जय विठ्ठल, जय जय विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय जय विठ्ठल, विठ्ठल जय जय विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय जय विठ्ठल, जय जय विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय जय विठ्ठल, विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय जय विठ्ठल, विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय जय विठ्ठल, विठ्ठल विठ्ठल Payyanur Govinda Prasad. Just 2 minutes, Thamba. Govinda Prasad, Rohit Prasad, Paritosh on the Pakhavaj, and Neeraj on the tabla. Dr. Narmada நான் ஆல்ரெடி சொல்லிட்டேன். யாரு இவாள்லாம் என்ன சேர்ந்தவா? சரி, என்னோட பாஸ் லத்திகா Ganeshkumar, my son Anand, my daughter Rutvija. இதெல்லாம் எதுக்குன்னா ஃபேமிலியில் ஏதோ நம்ம ஒத்தரா பண்ணுறோன்னு நமக்கு நினைக்க இருக்கக்கூடாது. அந்த குடும்பத்தில் இருக்கிற எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்து ஒரு காரியத்தை பண்ணால் அது சீக்கிரமாக நிச்சயமாக நம்ம we will achieve whatever that we want to achieve. And of course, Milind Gosavi ji, unke supatra, Onkar Gosavi, and Havre ji today is a new addition to the group, and I'm sure you will come more often. Havre ji is a leading builder of the Vashi area. நான் அவளை பேரை சொல்லிடுறேன், நீங்கள் அவளுக்கு ஒரு ஷாலை போட்டு விடுங்க. Justice Radhakrishna ji, Justice Suresh Gupta ji. அவ அப்பா என்னோட अभंगता நிறைய கேட்டிருக்க அந்த காலத்தில். अबीर गुलाल उधळीत रंग तुमचा वडील ऐकायचा आणि मला जेव्हा मी आलो होतो तेव्हा सांगितलं तुम्ही. अव रतन शारदाजी. Ratan Shardaji is a very popular person from the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, and you can see him on the TV almost every second day trying to justify what we are. Ratanji, would you like to say 2 words? Yeah, yeah. Hi.
Namaskar everybody. When the spring of devotion and spirituality flows so freely, to come in between is like throwing a boulder into the stream. So I would not speak much. I will say that in the public life, when you are meeting so many toxic people, your spiritual nerves get a little damaged. To nurture them back to its health, you have to come to such places with Ganeshkumar ji provides, so we can nurture our nerves back and get our spirituality back. Much before Modi ji started Kashi, Tamil Nadu Sangam, Arunachal, Gujarat Sangam, and Gujarat Tamil Nadu Sangam, Ganeshkumar ji many years back started Maharashtra Tamil Sangam, a Tamil bhajankar singing Marathi bhajans not only in Mumbai or Maharashtra but going all the way to Tamil Nadu and singing the greatness of Marathi Abhang is there and connecting the people. This confluence of a scholar, of a Abhangakar is very rare. So I thank him for this wonderful work he has been doing for many years. Tulsidas in Uttarakhand says that one of the most easiest way to reach God is Bhakti Marga. But he said it after he left his family. But to balance the family with the Bhakti Marga is not very easy. Guru Nanak Dev achieved it, many sons achieved it, but here we have the entire family, not only doing the Sansarik Varga karma, but also letting flow the devotional energy through people and dedicated to Vithala and Bhagwan. So it's a wonderful confluence, Sharda Mata and Vitthal and all the sons. So I thank Ganeshkumar ji for giving the opportunity to imbibe myself in this wonderful atmosphere. Thank you so much.
While you're here, Gauri Shankarji accompanied the Prime Minister when the new parliament was launched. So on the launch function, he was there, the Homa was done. So it's an honor that he is also here today. Pandit Vidyadhar Vyas, along with Suniraji. And may I also invite Snehal Mazumdar. இங்கே வந்துருங்களே ஸோ தட் முத்துகிருஷ்ணன்ஜி இங்கே வந்தால் அதில் கேமராவில் எடுக்கிற மாதிரி ஜோ Pandit Vidyadhar Vyas, like I said, is from an illustrious family, one of the leading families when it comes to Hindustani classical music. And he himself is an accomplished performer. And Suniraji, his dear wife, she was the dean of the Delhi music department. And Snehal Mazumdar, a chartered accountant, a santoor player, president of Indian Musicological Society, and a great orator. He wants to say something. Snehal bhai, you wanted to say something? Aye. Dal ke.
विद्यालतां वष्टिदानां अथभवतां श्री गणेश कुमार महाभागानां चिदायुष्य कामना भवतः अभंगं निशम्य खलु पुलकतं हृदयं मम अभिनन्दानि स्वीकुरु.
You represent
On behalf of the Maharashtra Rajya Gujarati Sahitya Academy, we would like to present a bouquet to Shri Ganeshkumar. Okay, may I request a very eminent singer, Shraddha Shri to please bring the bouquet. There are two bouquets. The one is for Gauri Shankar ji, and the second is for Ganesh Kumar ji. The Maharashtra Rajya Gujarati Sahitya Academy. That, as you know, there can't be Ganesh without Gauri and Shankar. Gujarat. Gujarat as well. Thank you.
Muthukrishnan ji, over to you. Program ஒரு கடைசியா ஒரு பைரவி ஒன்று பாடிடுறேன் ஏன்னா அது எங்கள் சம்பிரதாயம். I am planning to sing Pasayadan, which is the highest composition in the Maharashtrian tradition. Pasayadan is something that is composed by Sant Jnaneshwar, which does not refer to one particular god, but it refers to the overall power, the overall Almighty. And I would rather, in the 750 years of evolution of the Maharashtra tradition and culture, this must have been the highest point. For those of you who may not know, Prakrit was the language which combined Marathi and Sanskrit, and this Pasayadan, which is about 7-8 shlokas, is composed in that language. And even today, it stands out in its brilliance. It stands out in its literary strength. It stands out in terms of relevance to today's community. It stands out in terms of meaningful representation of what can go wrong in a society and the community and how to correct it. So this is a great composition and I'm sure you will like it. And I will sing this in Bhairavi Rag so that we don't have to then sing another song. आत विश्वात्मके देवे येणे वाकयज्ञे तोषावे तोषो निमसद्यावे पसायदानहि जिखळांची व्यंकटी सांडू तया सत्कर्मी रती वाढो भूत परस्परे पड मैत्र जीवाचे दुरिताचे तिमिर जाव विश्वस्वधर्म सूर्ये पाहू जो जे वांछील तो ते लाभो प्राणी जात वर्षते सकळ मंगळी ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांदियाळी अनवरत भूतळी भेटो तया भूत चला कल्पतरूचे यारव चेतन चिंतामणीचे गाव बोलते जे अर्णव पियुषाचे चंद्रमे जे आलांछन मार्तंड जे तापहीन ते सर्वाही सदा सज्जन सोय रे होतु किंबहुना सर्वसुखी पूर्ण होनीतिहि लोकी भजिजो आदि पुरुषी अखंडित आणि ग्रंथोपजीविये विशेषी योगी दृष्टादृष्ट विजये होवावे जे येत म्हणे श्री विश्वेश्वरा हो हा होईल दान पसावो येणेवरे ज्ञानदेव सुखिया झाला पुढती 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 या ग्रंथ पुण्य संपत्ती सर्व सुखी सर्वभूती संपूर्ण होईजे संपूर्ण होईजे संपूर्ण होईजे संपूर्ण होईजे पुंडलिक वरदे हरी विठ्ठल श्री ज्ञानदेव तुकारा जय सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की राधे कृष्णा राधे कृष्णा राधे कृष्णा. Those of you who are interested and inclined, tomorrow Ashada Ekadashi function is at Rangaswar at YB Chavan at Nariman Point. If you are interested, you are most welcome. Radhe Krishna.